In today's video I'm going to fully rebuild the very makeshift kitchen setup of this VW T4 camper and make it a lot more pleasing concerning both function and looks. First of all, I removed the old kitchen. Then I covered the bulkhead in carpet lining, as it's super easy to reach now. I redid the trim underneath the sliding window and inserted rivet nuts to mount it with sleek looking bolts instead of the original clips. First of all, the refrigerator went back in as its place is set due to the cutout in the bulkhead. So the kitchen pretty much designs around that refrigerator. After taking some measurements, I cut the first pieces of the kitchen corpus to size and started screwing it together. I cut all the front pieces out of a single sheet of multiplex so that later on the grain will match all across the kitchen. Then I sunk these holes used to mount the kitchen to the van's baseplate. More holes to install USB outlets and switches. After a lot of test fits and small adjustments, I took everything apart again to properly sand and stain it. Following that, I started the final assembly process. I'm using these furniture connectors in the areas where I don't want any screws to be visible, while still allowing detachment to, for example, have easier access to the electrical system, etc. Here I'm installing the first door. I used magnets to keep it closed while driving. And then I installed USB outlets, a 12-volt outlet and some switches for future lighting. This is the control unit of the camper's diesel heater. I attached the backing and the first part of the kitchen went back into the van. The second part of the kitchen gets a more solid backing because it has to hold the water canisters in place. For the door I'm using simple hinges again, because it needs to be fully opened, as the compartments behind I used to offer a rattle-free space for the camping gas stove and its gas canisters. I put these threaded inserts into the base plate to securely attach the kitchen. Then I installed the hinges for the folding table. From there I went on to cutting the tabletop to size. I added a slot to the underside using my router to hide some ambient lighting later on. Next I made a cutout for the sink, recessed it and gave the whole tabletop a round over on the edges. Afterwards I glued the sink into place and oiled the tabletop. I added straps to the water canister compartment to keep the canisters from moving. After reinstalling the hoses of the water system, I attached this magnetic lid. And then I created the folding table's tabletop. I used corner jigs and a flush trim bit for a perfect result. To finish off that kitchen, I added a LED strip for the ambient lighting and put together two drawers.